how to get started investing in real estate. So you know there's opportunity in real estate and you want to take the next steps towards putting yourself in the best position to make the most of that opportunity. I mean, where do you even begin? Well, in this video, I'm going to break it down as far as what you need to qualify to actually get your first investment property and then build upon it, how you actually make money in the process of investing in real estate, how to find property, and what the next steps would be to actually get started with the process of it. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Tyler Roicki. I help people build income and wealth in real estate, and I run an international real estate team at eXp Realty. If you get any value whatsoever out of this video, all I'd ask is that you like, comment, and hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to share more tips and resources with you in the time ahead. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So to get started investing in real estate, I would say that you want to start with your primary residence. That's going to be the right answer for most people, I would say. And sure, yeah, you could go and buy an investment property first and rent where you live. That's always an option, but a lot of times it's going to help to get started with your primary residence because of the low down payment options you'll have if you're going to actually live in the property to start out with. Because there's a variety of different home loans available for low to no money down. For instance, veterans have a VA loan, 0% down. Those who aren't veterans, FHA is a possibility, 3.5%. Even conventional can have low down payment options out there, and not to mention USDA, that's another 0% down option, and there's a variety of others. But bottom line is, if you're gonna live in the house as your primary residence, you can actually tap into some of those low down money options available, and you can live in it at first, and then over the course of time, it can become a property that you actually rent out once you're done living in it. And also think about house hacking if it's possible for you in your situation. And what that means is that you would be renting out a portion of the property that you're not living in yourself. So if it's a 2-unit property, you might be renting out the other unit. If it's not a 2-unit, you might be renting out bedrooms, and that's what house hacking is, where you have some income coming in based on areas that you're actually renting out while you're still able to utilize the portion that you're living in, whether it be a room, a unit, what have you. Otherwise, if that's not an option on the table or based on your life situation, not something you're wanting to do, when it's time for your next property, you can make that existing property your rental and have it producing income for you at that point. Now, what would you need to qualify to get this first property? Well, there's really 3 main components that you're gonna wanna hone in on and make sure that you've got it all dialed in to the best of your ability. First of those components is your income. That's what a lender's gonna look at. They wanna see that you're meeting some key ratios, namely your debt to income as well as your payment to income. And so they're gonna wanna see proof of stable employment and income over a period of time, especially over the past 2 years. And best thing you can do in terms of this category is to increase your income. Anything you can do to have more coming in and to be reducing your debt, that way your ratios look better, that's gonna be super helpful. Next main criteria is gonna be your credit. So the better your credit, the more it's going to be helpful for you to have the best options as far as getting a loan as well as getting the best rate with the loan. But as a baseline, you want to have at least 620 on your credit score, and the higher the better. You want to have clean credit history as well, so no recent bankruptcies or foreclosures. And best thing you can do in terms of building the credit is going to be to get an app that helps you look at your current situation and gives you tips on how to improve it. So Credit Karma is an example of an app that does that, and you can work on the key metrics that will be required to increase your score if that's something you've got to build and improve upon. And the third key metric you're going to want to hit to qualify is your down payment. So minimum down payment just depends on the loan type, but I would say at the very least you want to have 3 to 5% set aside for the actual down payment as well as for reserves. And even if you got a 0% down option you're looking at, you want to have some money set aside for the reserves. So on top of that, you might even have some down payment assistance you can tap into. And so it's good to kind of look and see what's out there. In fact, if you're working with a great realtor, that's something that they might bring to the table as far as what they're knowledgeable in and being able to help you navigate those different options that might be available for you. And so what's the best thing you can do as far as your down payment? Working on that, well, it goes back to the income. Increase your income. It's going to help you to have more money to potentially set aside. And at the very least, take a percentage of your income off the top and set it aside for real estate. That's just the best practice regardless. I mean, 10% is a good level to start with regardless of how much you're earning right now. And if the 10% is going to make or break you being able to pay your bills, that's a great reason to do more. Like, at least look at what could you possibly do to increase your income so that you can set that 10% aside and put yourself in a position to actually get started investing in real estate. And then one more thing I'll throw in there is get your real estate license. This is a hack because if you have your real estate license, if you're buying a property on market, there is probably a commission of some sort that you can collect. And if you are representing yourself, not only are you going to be best equipped to actually navigate that situation, but you're going to have the ability to generate a commission in the process that potentially could be utilized to offset your cash out of pocket if your lender as well as your broker allow you to do that. Now, let's talk about how you actually make money in the process here. So there's a variety of ways that you can actually make money investing in real estate. A lot of people look at the equity, the cash flow, and that's a couple key things. I'll break it down, but there's more to it. So first way you make money investing in real estate is equity capture. That would be if you purchase the property below market value. That's the difference in your purchase price and the actual value of the property. Second way you make money investing in real estate is cash flow. Cash flow is the difference between your monthly rent that you're collecting if you're renting out the property and the monthly expenses. So ideally, you have a positive number there, and that would be your cash flow. Third way you make money investing in real estate is your principal pay down. This is the portion of your housing expense or otherwise the housing payment going to the bank. This is the portion of that payment that's actually going towards your principal, aka equity in the property. So that's going towards you, essentially. Fun fact, every payment you make, if it's amortized over 30 years, there's a portion of it that's gonna go straight to your equity. And fourth way you make money in real estate is market appreciation. Now, when the market goes up, so does the value of the property. And rent's gonna go up too. Fun fact, rents can rise over the course of time, especially if you're increasing the rates to go along with what the market's actually doing. In a growing area economically, it tends to be the case that real estate goes up in value. I wouldn't necessarily assume that it's gonna be unusually high any given year, but there will be periods of times where it can actually exceed what your expectation is. But bottom line is, long-term, real estate has tended to be a good investment. Of course, market to market can vary significantly, but market appreciation is a significant way that you can actually gain in the equity of property and benefit from owning it. The fifth way you can make money on real estate starts to get into the tax benefits. So there's something called depreciation. And what this means is that you have the ability to deduct the cost of a rental property over a set period of time. So this is something through the IRS, it's a rule with the taxes, but essentially that allows you to save money on your taxes as long as you own this property because you're able to depreciate your cost basis over a period of years, which breaks down to a certain amount per year, which you're subtracting from your taxable income, hence saving on your taxes. But best to get the guidelines of a CPA on this, make sure that it's actually done correctly. It's very important, in fact. But building upon it, the sixth way you make money in real estate is your actual tax deduction. So on top of the depreciation, there's a variety of things that you can write off, such as mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, repairs and expenses like maintenance, even property management fees. So again, run this all by your CPA, but one of the benefits is you get to actually take those real expenses and count it against your taxable income, which it's going to reduce the amount that you actually have to pay taxes on since we're accounting for these expenses in the process. Now, the next couple, it's more of a concept that's in play, and the better you understand this concept, the more it can actually help you generate more returns in the time that you own real estate and build upon your portfolio. But that next concept is leverage. So the idea behind this is the more real estate you own, the more equity, cash flow, and tax benefits that you can actually stand to capture in the process. And so if you're gonna build a portfolio out, the goal should be to own and control as much real estate as quickly as possible that is in alignment with your goal. And so one of the benefits of real estate is being able to easily utilize leverage. The concept of leverage means that you're taking a percentage and controlling the whole asset with it. So for instance, if you're starting out by one of these low down payment options, 3% down, 5% down, what have you, if you put 5% down, you're controlling 100% of the asset value for that 5%. And over the course of time, as you build your portfolio, it's likely that you're, beyond that first purchase, you're probably gonna be more like 20% down to actually get into a property beyond your primary residence, beyond that initial investment. So, and there's exceptions. You can possibly use the low down payment option more than once, depending on what it is you're actually doing, but even 20%. So think about this, 20% down, you can control 100% of the asset. That means if the asset goes up in value, you capture 100% of the gain, not 20% of the gain, even though you only need to put 20% cash on the table. So the idea is, all else equal, if you have the option to put 100% down and own the asset outright versus a smaller percentage down, you have more leverage and you can actually have a lot more upside by utilizing leverage to control more real estate over time and allow all the benefits to work in your favor. So I hope that makes sense. Might want to rewind and listen again if it didn't, but it'll make more sense over the course of time the more you dive into real estate if it's not already clicking. Now, the next benefit is velocity of money. This is another concept that I believe is important to understand, and it's the concept that reinvesting the returns you get from real estate investments sooner rather than not can actually help you build and to compound upon the gains that you're actually getting in the process. So it's putting the cash flow and even potentially equity gains back to work as soon as it's available to create a snowball kind of effect, because the more you do this, the more real estate you can own and the more upsides that you can actually capture sooner in the process. So it's going to allow you to purchase more property sooner and enjoy all the benefits that much sooner as well. So that's how you make money investing in real estate. But how do you find a property, right? So there's two methods if you really boil it all down: on market and off market. So on market's very simple and straightforward. Work with a great real estate agent. If you need a great real estate agent, I just so happen to run a team of real estate agents all across the map, 30 plus states. In fact, I have a network that spans far beyond that. So if you need a great connection, all you gotta do is ask. Reach out, send me an email, let me know what market area you're in and what you're wanting to do, and I will help to facilitate a connection for you. But regardless if it's that or any other way you're gonna go about connecting, a great real estate agent is worth their weight in gold, and you get to utilize their help and resources without having to pay a fee up front. I mean, agents make their money on commission. That happens when there's a actual result driven, but up to that point, to find a property to help you get your eyes on the right kind of deal, an agent that really knows how to navigate the side of the business on the investment front can actually help you immensely, because it's going to save you all the time, energy, effort that you got to go to work finding your own deal in the process. But if you got that work ethic, that sweat equity, if you want to make this more of the day-to-day what you're doing, you might explore off-market deals, which that really entails you going to work to find and generate the deals. And how you do that, I mean, there's a few components of it. For one, you got to have leads. So you want to define who your target market is, your target audience, and how you're going to reach them. So what's your buy box? What would be a property that would meet your criteria, and who owns these properties? And you're going to want to start to get in touch with the people that own them and see if they are interested in potentially making a sell happen. And you got to make a lot of contacts. That's the next thing you got to do, because it's up to you. If you're generating off-market deals, no one's going to do that for you. So you've got to be making contacts with the actual homeowners, and don't switch things up too soon. Don't run too small numbers either, meaning, so if you pick a strategy, don't change the strategy. Like, stick with the strategy and build upon it with, the list you're targeting, the method of contact, whether it's cold calling, door knocking. Like, don't switch the strategy too soon. Give it time to actually work, and make sure you're running big enough numbers so that it can actually work. Because if you're making too few contacts, there's a chance that you might not ever find a deal. You got to run bigger numbers. You got to make it a lot of contacts, because it's like you're looking for a needle in the haystack, but the more hay you pick up in the process, the more likely it is you find a needle in what you're looking for. Now, even beyond the contacts, you've got to make offers, because they're not all going to get accepted. In fact, there's going to be a lot of situations you come across someone who might actually be interested in selling, but you don't see eye to eye on the numbers, and it doesn't actually end up being a deal as a result. And that's okay. But you know what? Be creative and solutions oriented, because the more that you can be open-minded as far as what the actual solution can be and what you bring to the table, the more likely it is that you might find a way to make the deal work if you're really open-minded as far as how you could go about making it happen. Because it's not just all price. It's not just all, there's price, there's terms, there's different things that different sellers need. And it's important to really just listen to what it is that they're actually needing, and being creative in how you can work towards getting the solution that really helps them move on from it, and really simultaneously works to meet your goal with it. So always be the buyer too in the situation, meaning don't ever get in a spot where you need the deal. Like, the best possible position you can be in is being willing to walk away at any moment. So that's what I mean by always being the buyer, because if that is not the situation, even if you're on the buy side, you're going to be selling them on why it is you need the deal. You don't need the deal. Don't work from a position of need. Work from a position of strength, and being willing to walk away if the numbers don't work and if it's not the right deal. And once you're through the offer phase, you find a deal, it's all about acquisitions from that point. So you've got to have a contract, get everything in writing, do it the right way. So use the proper contracts. A lot of states out there have promulgated forms that real estate professionals use. So that can be something that could potentially be helpful for you too. But regardless, use the right contracts, use a title company and attorneys, and make sure that the actual money is being exchanged properly, as well as the ownership. And that's what those title companies are there for. And your word is your bond. Always do what you said you were going to do. Always show up with integrity, keep your word, and go about things the right way, treat people the right way, and be someone who is doing good and honest business in the market. And last but not least, in the process of working these off-market deals, is disposition. So you've always got to have a plan of how you're going to move the property. Know how you're going to get out of the deal before you even get into it, because you're going to make your money on the buy. So it's not just about finding a deal. It's like, okay, what's the game plan once you find the deal? What's the strategy with it? Are you fixing and flipping it? Is it a wholesale? Is it a long-term hold? Does the acquisition make sense based on what the goal is with the disposition? So know exactly what it is you're going to do before you even go under contract with it. And then that's how you find a property. So on market, you don't even have to do all those steps. More so, you're relying on someone to help you find the deal that meets your criteria. Off market, you're doing all the work, all the legwork, and it's really on you to find that deal yourself. But next steps, given all this information, now you know how to get started investing in real estate, what you're gonna need to qualify, and how to put yourself in the best position with it, and even how you make money investing in property, and how to go about finding a property. And so from here, best thing you can do is commit to the process. Put yourself in a position to make a purchase sooner rather than not. Get the wheels turning, get everything in motion that you'll need to actually qualify, and take those next steps forward in the process. The sooner you do that, the sooner you can get started investing in real estate, and the more time you'll actually have for the growth to compound and be meaningful for you long-term as you go about the process, building upon it, building that portfolio, ultimately building your life and making your goals and dreams a reality through real estate. And at this point in the video, here's what I tell you. If you got value out of the video, give me a subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will continue to share more valuable information and resources to help you grow and succeed in the time ahead as you commit to the process and building upon what it is you're doing here on the journey. And beyond that, if there's anything I can do to help you now or in the future, if you could use a connection to a great real estate agent to help you navigate these next steps forward, if you're committed and serious to taking them, I would love to help facilitate a connection. And you know what? If you're a real estate agent, broker, what have you, and you want to do more on this side of things, or just in general, building your business, your income, your life, I'd also love to connect and see what I can bring to the table to help you grow and build upon what it is you're already doing in the business. But regardless of what it might be, if there's anything I can do to help you now or in the future, go ahead and reach out. Send me an email. You'll find my contact information along with some other helpful resources for you in the description below. And all that being said, thank you so much for watching the video. And until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.